If you know Jesus, then you know God. God the Father, the Creator, Mother and Father to us all, the one who gives us life. And the same one who gives that life, we know, also will someday welcome us to our other home. And when that happens, it means letting go. It means letting go of the people whom we've loved along the way and the people who have loved us. But no one looks forward to that. We spend a lot of time trying to stay healthy, don't we? We eat right and we exercise and we do all kinds of things so that we can survive as long as possible. Just talking to a woman who was 97 this last week, and I said, "So how long do you want to live?" "Well, as long as I can." And I thought you'd say, "Well, till 100 or whatever." I said, "In other words, beyond 100. "Oh, yeah. If I can go beyond that, I'd be happy to go that long." And there's something in us that says, I want to continue to be part of this life. And one of the reasons we want to be in this life is because of the people we love. It's because of the love of the people whom God puts in our lives. And how often, and I know some of your spouses or children who died, whom we buried here at Pox or out at St. Peter and Paul Parish, I know I asked them, I said, "What are you worried about most as you anticipate dying?" And what most of them say? "I'm worried about the people I have to leave behind and how they're going to do. I'm worried about how they're going to handle my dying." But then, those of us who continue to live, those of you who are here, you all and every one of us, we handle the death of a loved one, all of us, a little bit differently. And that's why we want to have this evening for us to come together again, because I know for some of you it's very possible that after the funeral you didn't even want to go back to church again. Walking into church is just a reminder of a painful moment in your life of saying goodbye. And sometimes that's hard to keep coming back into church. And pray to God, because maybe there's been a lot of hurt in your life at the loss of this person who was so special in your life. But that's exactly the reason Jesus came for us. It's exactly the reason Jesus established the church. And even though this church now goes among many, many different denominations, we know there are a lot of Christians, but all those Christians do believe in one thing. Jesus came and died for us so that we could live eternally in heaven. The whole purpose of Jesus coming and whole purpose in this gospel is that there is a dwelling place for us in heaven. And Jesus wants to reassure us that that has to be our constant hope. Otherwise, how can we say goodbye to someone if we don't have that hope and that trust and that belief that that person now waits for us again till we'll be together again? I just want to tell you a story about a lady from one of the other parishes I was in. She'd been married twice, and both of her husbands had died. And she was brought to emergency one night into the emergency room at the hospital, and I was there, and they said, "We have to do emergency surgery on you." So they went to do the surgery, and I came back early the next morning, and first thing she says to me, she says, "Father, I died last night." Even the surgeons told me that I died. There was a while they were sure that they lost me. But she said, "I got to tell you, I had the most wonderful experience. I went to heaven, and both my husbands were there." And she said, they were so happy to see me. She says, I was hugging them and kissing them and throwing my arms around them, and I was telling them how glad I was to see them again. And then they started teasing me about which one of them was going to be my husband in heaven. And she said, "I don't care. I'll take both of you." And she is just going on, and she's telling me, she says, "Father, I mean, some women aren't lucky enough to get one good husband even." But she says, "I had two." And she says, "I'd love to have both of them back again." But she says, "You know what? Then they told me while we were there, they said, 'You can't stay. You have to go back.'" She says, "No, I'm staying. I'm here now, and I'm staying." They said, "No, you have to go back. But we're going to see you again." And she said, "You promise?" He says, "Yeah, we promise. We will be together again." And I remember she looked at me and she she says, and then you know what? I woke up, and these are her words, I woke up in this damn hospital bed. She said, this is not where I want to be. I want to be with the people I love who have gone before me. And that is what Jesus tells us today in the gospel. We will see these people we love again. And we have to live with that hope and that promise. Tonight we come here, to remember. And those people we love who've gone before us, we will always remember them. And hopefully we hang on to the good memories, even though there probably have been those other moments too, with those same people. The struggles maybe in those relationships. But tonight is a time for us to remember the blessings of these people God has placed in our lives. And even more so, the promise that we will be together again. Jesus reassures that. And he says if we know and believe in Jesus, then we really know who God is, the Creator, the one who gives us life, and the same one who will give us another life, a new life in heaven. What a gift we have been given in that promise of eternal life. Let that be the promise we carry in our hearts tonight and the belief that is ours as we come here. So, my friends, at this time, I invite Fran to come forward.